Funnily enough, mornings tend to be the most creative part of someone's brain. I was having a conversation yesterday with, some very successful entrepreneurs, and they were like, oh, well, how do you define wealth? And I was like, well, maybe money, actually probably time. If I can find little gaps where I can take more time to do other things, then it kind of works for me.
A creative lead who has worked with big brands across fashion, content production, and interiors, with a love for all things design, Chris Collick sees the mornings in a new light following personal and professional changes. Choosing to focus on mental and physical health, spending time with those closest to him, and preparation for the day ahead. This is how the morning helps him rise and shine. All right, Chris, thank you very much for being here.
No worries, thanks for having me.
So yeah, we always like to start these with what wakes you up in the morning, and what's your first thought?
So what wakes me up in the morning? An alarm clock that makes me coffee is great, yeah. So smell of fresh coffee in first thing in the morning definitely wakes me up, especially with the sound of it. It's very loud. And then first thought in the morning is, oh, what work have I got to do? Yeah, always the first thought.
I know coffee's like a big thing for you. You have can you talk us through the process? And I guess, like, what do you get out of that?
The time it takes is just time for me to chill out, kind of not think about anything else, and just kind of appreciate the whole coffee experience. So yeah, coffee's a massive thing for me. I can't go a morning without it.
So you wake up, your alarm clock's woken you up, made you a coffee, which is amazing. And then what comes next?
Emails. Yeah, definitely emails first. So won't reply to any, but I'll kind of just see what work emails have come through either late at night or, throughout the night. There's something really important, say from my chairman or something, obviously reply to that straight away. In a lot of industries now, you can get stuck in the 7 in the morning till 7 at night, 12-hour days. I'm not scared of putting in a shift. Obviously, I do that at tour, but when I'm at home, I don't want to get sucked into that. Essentially, yeah, the quick glance is just to make sure that everything's in hand. There's nothing urgent or pressing. Like I say, if the chairman's emailed, obviously going to email him back. But for everything else, it's okay, quick glance, it's on my radar. I know what to then write in my notepad for my to-do list before I start. And then when it hits, maybe 8:45, 9 o'clock, when I actually properly start work, cool, I can just email them back then. But I already know essentially kind of what my reply is going to be because I've thought it out a little bit. I'm guilty of it. I'm sure most people are. You read an email and you reply straight away. An hour later, you're like, oh, actually, I can't do that, or I should have said this instead. So it just gives me that kind of couple of hours just to, like I said, do my to-do list, slot in anything that I need to slot in time-wise. And everyone's really understanding with it anyway. Yeah, for me, it's just important to know what's going on, but not necessarily have to reply straight away. Have a look at the emails, real quick glance, and then just a quick kind of scroll on social media as well. I've got a lot of friends in America still, so just kind of keeping up with them, seeing what they're doing, what they're up to. And obviously being in London, there's a lot of noise. I'm a very light sleeper, so if I get 4 to 5 hours sleep a night, that's normally quite a good night's sleep for me. But yeah, as soon as that's done, straight to the gym. So try and get to the gym about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not crazy with it. I go, 6 times a week, but it's just like a 15, 20-minute workout. 2025 for me was a lot to do with wellness and trying to sort my whole body and mind frame out. Make another coffee. Gotta make another coffee, and then I'll kind of come in here in the living room, light an incense. Feel that really helps me focus. Love a good incense, just kind of clear the air, let's say. Yeah, helps me focus, get some music on, and then just kind of take that next hour, half an hour, just to psych myself up for when I start the work emails and stuff. Yeah.
You mentioned that this year's been a lot about like your mindset and kind of health and wellness. And how has that changed your mornings? Like, did your mornings used to be different, and now that you're trying to take a bit more time to focus on that, are things different, or?
Yeah, massively. I think I used to be like pretty unhealthy. Was born with heart problems. and then had open heart surgery about 2 years ago. And I actually continued down the downward spiral of just being unhealthy, eating unhealthy, which again really affects your sleep and stuff. So mornings for me, you know, last year were terrible. I'd get up maybe 5 to 9 and then start work at 9 o'clock. It's literally get up, open up the laptop, start work. But now kind of having more of a routine and focusing on wellness has really helped. I can get the 6, half 6 and not feel as sluggish as what I used to. Also helps having, the green juice powders in the morning as well, just to make sure you're getting all your vitamins in, sorting out your body and your mind that way as well. In the morning, as soon as I get back from the gym, obviously have a shower, and before I make the second coffee, it is getting dressed. And thought still goes into what I'm wearing, even though I work from home a lot of the time. I'm still on video calls. I've slimmed down the wardrobe a lot, and now it's very much just necessities, and it's like a staple collection that I can work with. So it's a case now that I've got 20, 25 pieces that everything works together. It makes it a lot easier in the morning. I think that is one major thing that people could probably benefit from, is having that kind of slimmed down collection. It's cut down probably 30 minutes out of my morning, but also my mind frame. Just trying to be a little bit more minimalistic, just to stop all these, not negative thoughts, but long process thoughts as well. I was having a conversation yesterday with, some very successful entrepreneurs, and they were like, "Oh, well, how do you define wealth?" And I was like, "Well, maybe money." And then it got to the point of actually probably time. I see wealth as how much time you have. So I can't afford to have a lot of time at the moment because of the amount I work. But if I can find little gaps where I can kind of slim down and take more time to do other things, then that kind of works for me. So obviously with work, I travel extensively, and Sammy's a teacher. So we'll take the morning to, have a coffee together. But yeah, especially in the summers, we'll take that kind of, you know, 6 or half 6 till she leaves at half 7, find gaps where we can have a coffee together in the summer, especially sit outside in the garden, just have a coffee, chat, and just take it all in. What I find in the morning, so with photography and videography, it's a nice time to kind of look what you edited the day before, and then look at it again with fresh eyes in the morning. As I said, I don't sleep very well, so I think about work a hell of a lot as well during the evenings and night. So take that process and look at it with fresh eyes in the morning, and maybe make the changes. See if you like it. If you don't, then you can always revert back. I think that's always a nice thing to do first thing in the morning. Just have a little bit of a play with edits and just get your brain working and moving, or that side of the brain anyway. The creative side is just kind of, yeah, getting everything flowing nicely, before you get stuck in a long meeting anyway. Yeah.
You mentioned obviously you travel a lot for work. Is there anything that you like to try to keep a hold of, from like when you're working at home to when you're traveling and you think, this is something I have to do in the morning no matter where I am?
Yeah, traveling a lot, obviously working on a golf tour, the Legends Tour. It's, we can be away anywhere from 12 to 15 weeks a year. The things that I will take with me and try and keep the routine as consistent as I can is, if the resort or the hotel has a gym, I'll definitely try and get in the gym in the morning. Luckily, most places or hotels will have the coffee machine in the room, so it's not quite the same, but it will definitely do. Thankfully, we can get a good coffee when we go to breakfast. But I also take my vitamin powder with me wherever I go. Just throw it in the suitcase, because as soon as I wake up when I'm away, just to kind of make the body and the mind feel good again, it's having that green juice. When I first started, after my first week essentially, it was a tour event, and I felt very low, very down, because you're in a different country. You don't have the support system you normally would. So yeah, just checking in with Sam, making sure she's all good, making sure the dog's all good, as well as them being there for me. It's I've got to be there for them, because obviously, Sam works very hard. She's got to run the fort and hold down the fort while I'm away. So just checking in with her, making sure, you know, her mindfulness is all good, like she's not feeling stressed or anything. So it's very important, before I start work, when I'm away, just to drop in a call or a text saying, I hope everything's all good, and just check in really.
It'd be interesting to know, is there anybody whose morning routine you'd like to know about?
Probably a couple, our chairman, Ryan, I'd be very interested in his morning routine. He's a very, very intelligent man, very successful at what he's done and what he's built. And I've had emails from him, maybe 4:30 in the morning at some point. So it'd be interesting to, really dive into his morning routine. I was at his house yesterday and I got there for about 8, and he's in his gym kind of working out. I'm like, how the other half live. That's pretty cool. There's Aaron Levine, who is a great designer, clothing designer. Used to be the creative director for Club Monaco, part of the Ralph Lauren group and stuff. And then he's now ventured out on his own. And I know he travels a lot, so it'd be great to see, like his mindset on, because he's a very creative, cool person, how he manages his morning routine with so much travel, essentially. But yeah, they'd be the two for me probably.
Well, thank you again for being here. It was a pleasure, and yeah, really appreciate it.
No, cheers, Nick. No, really appreciate it. It's been really fun.